Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here. Disney's Recess is about a group of school kids called TJ, Spinelli, Vince, Mikey, Gretchen, and Gus, who share adventures together on a playground that resembles an adult society. TJ and his friends serve as guardians of Recess, as they try to keep up the peace, defend kids' rights, and stand up to the authoritarian Miss Finster. Over the past few years, I've come to really admire this show for what it set out to do. Not only is it a surprisingly mature satire on politics, society, and economics, but it's also a cartoon that respects children's intelligence, empathizes with the struggles of growing up, and portrays TJ and his pals as likable, realistic kids with a genuine friendship.
Okay, forget giant robots for a minute. What if giant monsters attack town? What do you guys do then?
I would try to befriend them.
I'd try to train me one.
Are we talking flying giant monsters or non-flying giant monsters, Teach?
Ones that walk around like this.
Okay, Teach. Now you're sort of scaring me.
Sure, not everything about it has aged well, but dang was it progressive for its time.
Now remember, class, please take this new history book with a grain of salt, since it focuses primarily on the history of white Western males.
The show was never shy about addressing the dark side of school life too, from the cruelty of authority figures to the creepy folklore created by playground rumors. There are many contenders for the darkest episode of Recess, but I feel like one in particular really stands out as a chilling story. In Recess is cancelled, national test scores are at an all-time low, so the Secretary of Schools tries to convince the President to cancel Recess. Hesitant, the President suggests that a school should be randomly selected to test this theory. The Secretary picks TJ School, 3rd Street, to be the guinea pigs for this controversial experiment. However, as the No Recess program continues, every kid becomes a mindless zombie, which causes test results to go really down. So the Secretary of Schools immediately reintroduces Recess back into 1st Street School. I think what makes this episode stand out as the darkest is how it barely resembles your typical Recess episode. Yes, this is obviously because, well, there's no actual recess, but at the same time, all our favourite characters have become empty shells of who they once were, and the show's humour is far more deadpan.
You know what to do. You know what to do.
Do you go here?
I don't know.
Even Teach, the most outspoken 1st Street kid of all, and a voice of noble reason, submits to this program out of patriotic duty, which is kind of interesting, because it shows that TJ's rebellious streak has a line he won't cross. By the time the No Recess program crushes everyone's souls though, TJ's far too gone to stand up for everyone, leaving no sense of hope for the kids. No matter how serious the stakes in a Recess episode would get sometimes, TJ was always the one to spark some courageous optimism into the hearts of kids.
Your jungle gym? How can you own a jungle gym? How can you own the way the monkey bars feel in a kid's fingers when he's hanging in midair? How can you put a price on the cool, clean feel of metal on a guy's butt when he's sliding full blast down a slide? It's like magic. And let me tell you something, Principal Prickly. Magic is not school property.
But in this episode, he's a victim of an oppressive experiment, and no longer mentally stable enough to be a hero. And his pals can't take over his role, because they're just as out of it. Yeah, these characters became brainless potatoes in the episode The Game, but their zombie states were exaggerated for cartoony fun that time.
No! I won't give in! I won't let this thing beat me!
It's no use, TJ. Eventually you will join us.
Never!
Here, the kids are clearly exhibiting semi-realistic mental health issues. Heck, that's the most disturbing thing about this episode. Every kid is suffering from actual depression and anxiety due to their lack of rest, relaxation, and fun.
Too many little boxes.
Not enough time.
I'm sorry. I don't understand your question.
Number 2 pencil only, please. Number 2 pencil only.
The distinct, colourful personalities have been robbed. Now they're just tied slaves to the government. As the episode goes along, the colour grading becomes more and more desaturated. Now, we've had a monochrome episode of Recess before, but that was supposed to be a detective mystery parody.
Excuse me, Mr. Bundy. I believe you have something that belongs to me.
Dang,
I said you have something that...
I heard you. I ain't got nothing of nobody's.
But Skeet said...
Nothing of nobody's.
In Recess is cancelled, the colour fades away in this episode to imply that the joy of youth is being drained away from these kids. Even the teachers face consequences from the No Recess program, because they too have lost their relaxation privileges.
Bathroom break?
Sorry, the faculty restroom has been sealed shut.
It was being overused.
Good grief, man. We teachers need time to sit and do nothing.
Not on the taxpayer's dime, you don't.
Oh, and Miss Finster, who was no longer needed for playground supervision, is stuck doing nothing, which drives Secretary Miss Lemon totally bonkers.
Do you have to do that?
I'll do as I please, sister.
I've just about had it with you, Muriel. You're driving me plumb loco.
Then maybe it's go time.
Don't let your mouth write out a report card your body can't sign.
This episode also takes place back when Principal Prickly was a more bitter man, and before Recess School's Out, a Disney film that developed Principal Prickly into a more compassionate man who was willing to stand up for kids' freedoms.
See, I didn't get into teaching for the promotions or the pension plans or so I could get to the golf course by 3:45. I did it because I wanted to help you kids. I'd forgotten that. Till today.
So not even the head of First Street has any interest in protesting against this experiment.
The only place any of you are going is back inside, because by order of the Secretary of Schools, recess is cancelled.
When Miss Grokey, the most progressive and free-spirited First Street teacher, secretly invites her class to a game of paper football to relax them, agents step in immediately to scold her for going against the government's orders. She's the only character who finds a way to protest, and is sadly stopped after like 10 seconds. I think what also makes this episode dark is how it taps into the harsh reality that some of those in educational power tend to see children as test score numbers and not real human beings. Heck, the Secretary of Schools only picked Third Street because their test scores were already good, so he's basically trying to rig his experiment to be a success.
Here's the point, Prickly. We believe unnecessary recess is causing test scores to drop. To find out, we've selected your school to eliminate recess and monitor test scores.
But Mr. Secretary, my school's test scores are already up there among the very best.
Don't be dumb, Prickly. I know that. But other people don't. We'll simply release only the final test results. That way, my program is sure to seem like a smashing success.
That's what I respect about this episode. It's genuinely sincere about its satire on education culture. It straight up says that reducing children's break time won't increase test score results, because more work doesn't mean better work. It just leads to mentally unhealthier kids. Even though this is the darkest Recess episode to me, I think it earns its somber mood and bleak atmosphere, because it has an authentic message to get across, all while taking jabs at corrupt adults who only see kids through charts and data. Sure, it can be kind of melancholic to sit through, but once recess is reinstated and the kids can go outside again, we really feel their sense of happiness. So which do you think is the darkest Recess episode? Let everyone know in the comments section below, and don't forget to click that like button. I've been Jambareeqi. Cheerio, folks.